Jonathan Wolfer is an HR expert and managing partner from Talenting Human Resources and joins us now. Jonathan, I've often said that if you are desperate to find a job and you really want to find a job, you've got to look outside the square a little bit. Are job seekers doing that these days?
I think they're not used to doing that in the current stage. So I'm not sure everyone is. Like, obviously everyone's different, but yeah, I think people do need to look outside the box, particularly with what we're seeing in the traditional way people do find their roles.
Look, I don't know how old you are, so I'm going to assume that we're of the same sort of era. When we were younger and looking for our first jobs, you had to do some legwork and you had to be a little bit creative because we didn't have the internet and all these online application processes. Has technology made us a bit lazy?
Yes, definitely. And I think we've learned to expect immediate results as well, which is something that people aren't used to, particularly in the current climate. So I remember going back, I haven't said my age specifically, but used to write letters looking for jobs, do work experience, wrote 200 hard copy letters when I was looking for a job at one particular time. So it's something that we've been used to over the generations.
Is that the kind of mentality we have to take on a bit, or have we gone beyond that? And is there a newer way or a more innovative way that we should be looking at job hunting?
Definitely. I think we should be looking at more innovative ways. I've spoken to so many people over the past few months just going, how do I improve my resume, my cover letter? When there's one person and there might be 200 people going for a job, doesn't matter how much you tweak it, it's not going to change that situation. So I think we do need to be innovative, and I probably think there are a couple of things people can do. First of all, getting out there, networking, talking to people and finding the jobs that people like. Here we go, I've got a job. Heard you before just mentioned landscaper, looking to employ people, things like that. You need to make those connections directly like we used to, rather than just sending off 800 emails and thinking you might land one of those. But also tapping into some of the bigger picture, longer term opportunities we now have available, unfortunately and fortunately, with retraining and looking at careers of the future. And I'm not talking about sci-fi and all those kind of things. It can be healthcare, aged care, etc., but transitioning into roles that we've known for many years that are going to be more prevalent in the future. Taking that opportunity now, the free funding, we might be getting JobKeeper or JobSeeker to keep us going by. Let's not reinvest in our career moving forward and set ourselves up for the next 10 years.
You've talked about tapping into a hidden job market. What do you mean by that?
Hidden job market is generally the term used for jobs that aren't advertised. And generally, I don't know how this has specifically changed for COVID, but 65-70% of jobs aren't the ones that you see on Seek. They're ones that you know through networks, connections, being present and available in an area where someone needs someone to go and in short notice or in a particular specific field. So I see people just looking, going, job ads are down, there's not jobs here and there. 65-70% of jobs don't come from job ads, so we need to tap into that and broaden our spectrum there.
Talk to us about taking a hybrid approach to finding jobs.
Yeah, I'd probably also go a step further and say perhaps differentiating, making a living versus what our job or career looks like into the future. So that might mean, look, right now applying for jobs is difficult and there's nothing that we can do to change that other than tweaking things. But, there are jobs available now that might be short-term. The gig economy is one that continues to operate, and that's not just Uber and things like that. There's other things such as Airtasker and things that give us the opportunity there. So why not make a living now, invest in your career into the future, and then look at that job in 6 to 12 months that you might be more likely to work in, rather than going, I'm not going to do this job now, I don't do this, this is not where I see my career going. Pay the bills, make a living, but look a bit longer term. So do the job now that supports your career into the future.
So use the security of employment that you might not necessarily want to give you that buffer so that you can find the job that you do want in the end.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. And just listening to the challenges that employers are facing with encouraging people to get back into work in 6 months, 12 months when these things go away and the money isn't as easy from JobSeeker or JobKeeper. Those that have actually added a couple of strings to their bow will be the ones better placed to actually delve into jobs moving forward.
It makes a lot of common sense when you say it out loud, Jonathan, but as they say, common sense isn't very common these days. But thanks for your time this morning.
No worries. My pleasure, Stephen.